they're satisfied with the way we've conducted the elections. There is a lot of pressure from the outside, and that's why you see MDC panicking. They've got their masters out there. They want them to cause chaos. We know what is happening, and we're following that very closely. But we're not going to see a Kenyan style in Zimbabwe. Unlike our colleagues, they're still young. They haven't had a single day's work in their life, and politics is now their career, and that's why they're so eager. They've set their minds to say they are going to win, they are going to be ministers. I've heard even the rumors they have already started allocating themselves ministerial posts, and but people are very nervous. This is to be expected whenever you have an election, because it's a very exciting period. You don't know what is going to happen, and yeah, that's the process of elections.
Why is it that ZANU-PF is not coming up with some sort of official statement or some sort of communication to the voters of Zimbabwe and to the media to say this is where we are at the moment, and this is what we would like to say to the people of Zimbabwe? ZANU-PF is not in a state of panic at the moment. We don't need to run a parallel ZEC. We need to follow the official channels, which is exactly what we're doing. People should, we advise our people to listen to radio, to watch television for the results. They should stay calm, stay at home, and let the process flow. We don't see why there's so much rush, but we can understand from the opposition. They're young people, they're vibrant, and they want to make a statement. They're like student activists, and yeah, let them run, and we know they're going to stop, and there's no need for rush, and ZEC are going to take their own time, and we can make conclusions after the announcements. Minister, it's not necessarily about competing with the ZEC or the MDC or anyone for that matter. You are officially, until the results are completely announced, the ruling party. You don't think it's necessary to inform your inhabitants about developments in the country?
No, people went to vote, and they know the results will be announced. There is no need for ZANU-PF, as I have indicated before, to run a parallel structure to that of ZEC. And really, the MDC, they want to set an agenda. That's their own problem. Let them run around, let them announce. But it's very mischievous, and really they are misleading people. At the end of the day, they've raised people's hopes. What happens if the results go the other way? And we're trying to avoid a situation where people end up fighting or breaking the law. So it's only important that people remain calm, remain mature, and let the process take its course.
Perhaps just use this moment to congratulate you. News has come through that you have kept your constituency where you come from. But some of the ZANU-PF ministers have lost their constituencies. What's going to happen there?
Well, it's a democratic process. Maybe they didn't do enough, and look, we wish them the best in whatever they do. We normally ZANU-PF looks after its own people, and that's the process of democracy. They didn't fuss about. They didn't go to court to challenge the results. They know that you've got winners and losers, and that's the process. They're mature. They've been in this game for a long time. Unlike our colleagues, they're still young. They haven't had a single day's work in their life, and politics is now their career, and that's why they're so eager. They've set their minds to say they are going to win, they are going to be ministers. I've heard even the rumors they have already started allocating themselves ministerial posts, and but people are very nervous. This is to be expected whenever you have an election, because it's a very exciting period. You don't know what is going to happen, and yeah, that's the process of elections.
Well, exciting in more ways than one. At last count, only 38 constituency results have been announced, and that is parliamentary. And apparently the indication, we were just talking to John Neshanyi right now, and according to his analysis, it's 50-50 for MDC and the ZANU-PF. Should that remain consistent, are we going to start seeing ZANU-PF cooperating with MDC to take Zimbabwe forward?
Look, it's important that we wait for results to come through. And the minute you want to rush things, I think ZEC they're very right, they're very correct with what they're doing. People need to calm down, they need to take their time, they need to verify, and whoever wins, I think people need to sit down. I think what I'm looking at now is the future of Zimbabwe. What is going to happen? There's so much excitement, and we need to think seriously about that, and we rebuild this beautiful country. We rebuild, we then, but I'm glad that the observers that came over, they're satisfied with the way we've conducted the elections. There is a lot of pressure from the outside, and that's why you see MDC panicking. They've got their masters out there. They want them to cause chaos. We know what is happening, and we're following that very closely.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to see a Kenyan style in Zimbabwe.
Minister, people are not only unhappy with the slow pace of the announcement of results, but also the fact that there seems to be some level of government control here, of wanting to introduce one MDC vote for one ZANU-PF vote. Is it true that government is putting a hand here?
No, as I've pointed out before this morning, ZEC is comprised of ZANU-PF and MDC officials. What we've agreed with MDC is that we're not going to reveal who the ZANU-PF or MDC officials are. So what they're doing is above board, and there's a lot of panic, there's a lot of pressure, and people should remain calm and collected.
As a Zimbabwean who has voted, aren't you anxious as to what has happened? What do you think of the way that the ZEC is announcing the results?
Everyone is very anxious. When I drove from my constituencies, I didn't know what had happened in other places. You hear stories, you get text messages. Yeah, naturally you're not sure what is happening. But look, we understand why they had to do that, and you look at the issue of capacity. Do they have the capacity? They want to make sure that there is no room to fit, to play around with figures. They want to check everything. They want to make sure people are satisfied with the result, rather than rushing to announce things and then go back and try and correct, and it will cause confusion. I think as ZANU-PF, we're supporting, not that we've got any hand in that, we're supporting the way they're conducting themselves, and they are professionals. Justice Chiweshe is a former High Court judge, and he is within right, and he hasn't broken the law. They're very experienced senior citizens in ZEC, and they should be given the chance. There's so much pressure from outside Zimbabwe. This is a Zimbabwean election, and you can imagine the calls that are coming from the United States, the United Kingdom, from all over. They want to know whether Mugabe is going. They can't wait to see the back of President Mugabe. And well, that's their own problem, but the people of Zimbabwe will decide the destiny of this country.
Deputy Minister Bright Matonga, he's been at the Rainbow Center where the results are